Hey guys, it's Babypowder and I'm coming to you with another one of my amazing multi-box gold guides. And today I'm actually going to be doing another one of our mining series videos, as it's been a little while since we've done one. And I figure it's about time we did it, because we want to try to cover every zone. And we also eventually want to get to where we're doing like Irving videos and possibly even some skinning ones and stuff like that. So yeah, I figured it's about time. We're actually going to be going back out to Wrath this time. We will be covering other zones, like going out and doing some Legion areas. We'll be going back out to classic areas and even back out to Outland. But for right now, I figured, you know, we did the one out in Howling Fjord, and so we did one for Cobalt Ore. It's time that we go ahead and take a look at Serenite and the Titanium Ore. So let's go ahead and get into it and see how it's done. All right, guys. So for this one, we are actually located out here in Icecrown. That's the spot I first decided to take and do. I know a lot of people probably just want to go out and hit Wintergrass, but then again, you also have like the PvP event and stuff that goes on there. So I figured I wanted to do one that was actually out in a regular zone first, before I actually cover that. I will go and do Wintergrass as well, but for this one, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. We actually, way back on one of our streams, we tried to do like a lack between me, Golden Routes, who's actually he is the one that actually designed the route that I took, which is right here. As I've mentioned before, I do use some of his routes. He comes up with some really good ones, and this was one of the ones that he actually designed right here. And so that's what I decided to use. But it was him, me, and one of my viewers that's been with me for a long time, Sylvie. We actually did all three zones for the Serenite and Titanium. We did this one. He did this one for Icecrown. I did Sholazar Basin, and then Sylvie actually did Wintergrass. And he actually came out with more value, because he ended up finding more Titanium notes than both of us actually did, even with her being in Wintergrass. Now, he was actually, I believe, solo farming at the time, so maybe it was easier for him, because with this zone, there were a couple issues. Now, one of the reasons why I want to go ahead and actually cover, you know, every zone as well, because it might be a little bit different for people who are actually, you know, multi-boxing compared to just like solo farming, because when you are solo farming, it's a lot easier to get on a node than trying to line up a bunch of tunes, especially if you have more than, you know, 2 or 3, because you have a whole line of tunes to try to line up and get them to all gather at the same time, or even if it's like a really small platform, to get them to actually land on that platform sometimes. So that can really be an issue. And another thing is with some of the zones with like the sharding issues, and you drop and follow. So I ran into some of those, like areas like this one right here where we're coming up on a node right here, really are not a problem, because it's out in the open. These are easy to gather. I can just come right up here to this one, line my camera up, and then usually there's not a problem. Which actually they still didn't want to collect. There we go. I had to actually hit it a little bit above the node, and that's one thing you gotta keep in mind too. I get that question a lot too with the multi-boxing and gathering and stuff. You know, people saying that they're struggling and how they make it easier to gather nodes. One thing, it just takes practice. I still miss them sometimes, as I just did there. And you gotta remember though that your tunes are behind you, so you have to make up for that and everything. But you want to get them as close as you can, so you need to make sure that you're actually clicking, you know, on the node with all this, you know, all the screens. So make sure that you are clicking a little bit higher, mostly is what it seems like is what kind of works. Use a camera macro that lines up all the cameras like I just did. If you guys are interested, here is the camera macro right here, and it's just /script set view parentheses 5, and then semicolon set view parentheses 5 semicolon. Now you can change that number to whichever one. That's just whatever, you know, if you want to preset a custom one, you can do that as well. And that's what the numbers are. There are different set views you can set. I know some people have it as set view 4. It doesn't matter what the number is if you're just using the default. That's what the default is when I hit it. So, and that one works. If you're curious what this is, this add-on right here with the takes my mini map, actually puts it on the screen. It is Farm HUD. If you guys are interested, maybe later I'll do like a tutorial on it or something. But yeah, it just makes it easier to follow a route when you have it already up here. You just can go along and you have it right here on your main screen without having to try to, look over there on the mini map. So yeah, so these ones are not bad. But I found when I was actually taking and trying to get into some of the other areas, like, see, I think I even missed some on there. No, actually, looks like we all gathered them. Okay, but if you look over here on the map, so like up in these higher areas on the map, I was finding that there was a lot of like mountains and things, and some of the nodes were very tip top of those mountains. It was a very small, like steep area to try to land. One tune, like I said, perfectly fine, easy to do, but when you're trying to get all your potatoes to do it at the same time, I had issues sometimes where some would fall off, and so I actually just started skipping some of them. Now, some of these lower areas down here, that's where I would actually, I mean, those weren't as bad because they didn't have those kind of issues, but they had sharding issues. So I found myself a lot of times just constantly hitting my follow macro. So that is an issue with this area out here. So yeah, maybe A+ for, coming out here on a solo tune, but multi-boxing, there are issues. Still feel like we came out pretty well. So guys, this is our spreadsheet that we came up with for our hour. We actually ended up with 1,222 of the Serenite ore. For the titanium ore, we ended up with 124. So really good for the titanium ore. Eternals, 76 of those. And that's a mix of different ones. So that's nice that you get some of the Eternals too by doing this. Green gems, we got 36, and blue gems, we got 6 of those. So yeah, gonna be mixed values with the gems and things. I didn't, bother trying to add up all the different ones, but still, really good. Another thing I suggest doing with this is actually taking and having a transmuter and a transmute master, and actually, transmuting everything, the Serenite into more titanium. And then getting the Titan steel bars, and that's what I normally do, is try to make the Titan steel bars and sell them, or either that or craft the Mog and sell the Mog. So yeah, I mean, you can still possibly, I mean, the best way to do it would probably be selling some of the Serenite bars, the titanium bars as well, and then selling some of the Titan steel bars all at the same time, so that way you're hitting every area as far as who wants to purchase from you. But yeah, definitely the value goes up with each one you decide to do. If you have a transmutation master, you can also get procs on that, which gives you even more value. So yeah, if you look here, as far as the values go though, you see the Serenite ore is 12 gold on my realm, 25 gold region, and then we have the titanium ore is at 98 gold and 213 gold region. And then, like I said, the gems and stuff are going to be all different prices, and so are the Eternals. Actually, Eternal Fire is really good. Eternal Earth is kind of low, but you actually might want to keep the Eternal Earth, just because sometimes it seems like, at least in my realms, it runs out on the auction house. Of course, I do have a farm for Eternal Earth, so that's the biggest problem with Eternal Earth. And then Eternal Shadow, it's actually going up compared to what it was. But usually Eternal Fire and Eternal Water are usually like the most valuable ones, it seems like. Now, as far as if you decide to, smelt them into bars, now if you smelt Serenite, you're going to increase that value from, 25 region to 48 region. And then for the titanium, you're going to go from 213 region to 394 region. But of course, Titan steel... They're at 1,608 regions, so that's the big difference. Now, you do have to actually use your Eternals. As you see, I actually have a bunch in the bank just reserved for doing this. It takes 3 of the titanium steel bars, but 1,600 gold in region value. It takes 2 ores to make 1 titanium bar, and it takes 2 Serenites to make 1 of those bars. So yeah, definitely not a bad spot. Like I said, if you're, able to deal with the mountains or whatever to gather on. Also, I had some competition out here when I was out here. There was a solo player going around and actually collecting, so maybe I could have gotten more if there wasn't that, because I did have some disappear on me when I go to land. And at the bottom there was the issue with the sharding issue. It wasn't too bad. I actually did prefer, and most times I would actually skip going to the top because I didn't want to deal with the spiky inclines. So I actually, most of the times I would actually just go around the bottom, and then I would cut across and go around the bottom and just spam my follow keybind. So that way, you know, I could try to, you know, catch that sharding issue right away. So like I said, it wasn't too bad, but it did happen often at the lower areas, and at the higher areas I mostly just had the steep inclines was the problem. Alright guys, so I hope you guys really enjoyed this video on the mining out there in Northern. You know, like I said, I do plan on covering every single area, and it's just, you know, we add up how much we get in each one, see which one provides the best, give you my thoughts on the area as far as, you know, multi-boxing it. You know, I know there's a lot of areas people already think are best, but then again, a lot of those have been from the point of view possibly of somebody just solo farming those areas. And you know, like with this one, really good zone, a lot of nodes, but then again, you know, we have the sharding issue near the bottom. So we found that out because we were multi-boxing. You know, of course, the sharding issue causes drop follows, which causes more time to get to each node. Had competition, that was another thing. We also had at the very top, the very steep inclines, which, you know, at the same time, I mean, those were worse than the spots in Dark Shore. Those were flat but small, where these are small but steep. I mean, I would actually have, when I thought I had everybody lined up, I still have a couple potatoes that weren't, and they would actually fall to the ground and almost die. I think I even had my potatoes die one time on me. But yeah, definitely makes it a little bit more difficult for a multi-boxer to do. So yeah, anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed it, and we will hit another zone up. I actually remember when I was doing that, I don't mind the zone in out in Sholazar Basin. It was actually really smooth and it was nice doing it. It's just I didn't run into as much titanium as the other ones did. And Wintergrass might be a great one too, but at the same time you have the PvP event, and you know, you might have to go and do something else for like an hour. So it would be nice to know which one in the open world is best to do. But anyway guys, I hope you liked it. If you did, go ahead and make sure you hit that thumbs up down below. Also, make sure that you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss our next one that we're going to do. Also, don't forget to check out the links down below. I have links for Facebook and Twitter where you can get notified when I'm coming out with another one of these videos or one of my amazing gold making guides. And also, don't forget to check out the link for Twitter, or not Twitter, but Twitch, where I'll be going live on stream. And also there's a link for Discord. You can join the great community. There is a bunch of great people in there that can definitely help you out if I am unavailable, and there's something that you need help with, or if you just want somebody to join you on a farm, because more that you join, especially with a lot of these big ones, the more you can get out of it, just like Wildvine and things like that. But anyway guys, that's about all I have. This is Babypowder. Peace. I'm out.